I'm Sylvanians and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as Calico critters. But today I'm not going to be showing Sylvanians and instead have one of these MGA Miniverse Make It Mini craft balls, and this is a Halloween edition. Last year I got the Christmas edition of these and made a Christmas tree which worked quite well scale wise with my Sylvanians. So I'm hoping for the same with the Halloween one this time. There are a few different options in here. So I think there's a rare hands thing, 2 drinks, a almost gingerbread house but as a haunted house, and then the pumpkins one. I hope I've got the pumpkins one. I think you can usually tell from the wrapper on the outside, and that is the pumpkins. So hopefully that is what I've got. I bought this from Smith's Toy Shop. It was $9.99 and I think these are pretty widely available. So yeah, let's get it opened. Three layers wrapping is quite a lot. And that does look like we've got the pumpkin ones. Okay, I think that's going to be a better angle. And firstly, I am going to look through the instructions. If I can find the English one. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to go and read this. So there are lots of warnings about resin and that this isn't a toy. It is for ages 8+. I'm an adult, so that's fine. I don't think that this one actually includes resin, so we're a bit more safe with that. But it does say as a chef's tip to remove the clear shrink wrap before play on the pumpkins. I think this should also be guidance. Yes, there's the drinks and the haunted house. That's the special one. Oh, it's a shrimp cocktail and from Beetlejuice. But these are the pumpkins, or jack-o'-lanterns. You have to cut the top off, scoop out the insides, then cut out the faces and put in the little candles. So I think this should be really fun. We've got a table for the end. There we go. And some mini newspapers, so the mini post issue 1. And I think this is to lay down to not make a mess, but it is really cute. Spooky party vibes. And some little games on the back. I think this is probably too big for the Sylvanians. Yeah, I mean it's taller than the adult. So I will just use that as they suggest to keep my table clean. In here, okay, we've got some tools. Here are the rest of the tools. So, tweezers. And the pumpkin carving tools. It says Carve and Create and Sunny Day Party Company. Again, for scale, these are probably a little bit big, but we might be able to get away with them. There are also the candles. These are little tiny tea lights from Sunshine Candle Co. Very cute again. This bat kind of topper thing You can't really see because of the shadows, but it does have a little face on it. There, maybe you can see that. That goes in the top for... Ooh. What I was saying is that that can go in the top for the display, which goes like that. And then I think the table goes in there as well. And then you have the pumpkins. They're in this like netting bag, and there's a sticker on there as well. Not lined up the best though. And we have to remove more shrink wrap on here. Final one has a rogue pumpkin seed. So I want to get these out. And while we're at it, I'll get the candles out too. Okay, so I think you're ready to carve them up. You are meant to kind of saw off the lids, but clearly they do fall off. But let's do a pretend. There we go. Yeah, that one as well. And there. Inside there are pumpkin seeds, and I don't know what this is. Maybe like kinetic sand. Let's scoop it out anyway. Oh, it's harder than I thought it would be. Hard like plasticine almost. And I'll speed through this in editing. There's a bit in the bottom hole, which I think is for the candle. Okay, I think that is cleaned out. And now we have to poke the carved face out. It is already done for you, so there's no sort of creating different faces, but that should just be poking through. This is a bit wobbly, so it's not the easiest. I'm going to use a cocktail stick instead. There we go. Oh, and I'll just clean out the bottom as well. A happy little pumpkin. I think it was this one. Yeah. Oh. And do need to put the candle in. These all look fairly similar. Maybe I should use the tweezers. Ooh. I'm going to use my own tweezers instead. kind of balanced in there, and you can just about see it through the eyes. Then put the lid back on top, and there is our pumpkin. And I will do the next two as well. So scooping out the inside again. There's the big one, and I'll do this last one while I'm at it. Okay, I think that is these two kind of cleared out. This one was a bit more tricky because of the kind of tall and almost wonky shape, but I think I've got everything, and it feels like sand, definitely. It doesn't really clump together, but interesting texture nonetheless. And because I scooped it out onto here, that is sort of contained. Yeah. Let's poke out the face again, and I'm going to use a toothpick because that was definitely easier. Yeah. Out in one. And there too. So yeah, the face is all one piece, and it's a somewhat rubbery plastic, like it's a little bit squishy, but still hard enough to keep its shape. So now the final candles. That one in there. And there. Oh, I did spill a bit of the sand. And the lids. Perfect. And I'll bring the first one back as well. So there are 3 pumpkins from the MGA Miniverse Make It Mini Halloween series. This was actually quite fun to do, and I preferred this than the kind of resin ones just because that can get a bit messy and you're touching chemicals and stuff. The sand worked quite well as the inside of the pumpkins, and I love all the little seeds as well. In fact, I might try and separate them out and maybe have them as like seeds to plant in the Sylvanian garden. And here is what that sand looks like with the seeds inside. I think I should be able to separate the sand and the seeds. Yeah, that's okay. I maybe don't have quite enough time to do it now though. I next want to see what the scale is like. So I have this pumpkin from a Halloween set, and it is smaller, but you do get massive pumpkins, so I don't think the other ones are too wrong. Let's bring it down to this level. And I have Nicholas Splashy, who looks like this next to the Sylvanian one, and is about as high as, or is about as tall as the tallest pumpkin. If their neck was bigger, you could almost put a Sylvanian in there. But again, not an unrealistic size. Here is Gloria Midnight, who's one of the regular standing baby size, and yeah, I think she looks good next to it. Pauline Husky, who is a child figure, again, it looks perfect. And finally, Dawn Persian again, to supervise as an adult, and I definitely think that these Miniverse pumpkins work in Sylvania and can be used as a decoration during Halloween. Not all of the MGA Miniverse scale works well with Sylvanians, so I guess just have a look online at the size of things. I think the cups and the drinks can be a little large, but the home decor things like this and the Christmas tree, obviously it doesn't matter if the scale is perfect, and things can be slightly bigger or smaller and it still looks good. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it has given some inspiration to you if you want to do some crafts with Miniverse capsules as well. If you like Sylvanian Families content, then subscribe to my channel as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including news, hauls and unboxings.